Healthy at Home with Bobbi Janzen.
Hi, so glad you could join me today. I'm going to talk about timing of exercise. That's another thing that I found. Well, what time of day should I exercise? That's a very individual question, and it's going to depend on you, and it's going to depend where you are in your life. I used to be able to exercise really early in the morning, and then I switched to nighttime, and now I'm back to early in the morning because it seems to ramp me up and I don't sleep as good. So it depends on you. So you're going to find what works for you, your schedule, how you sleep best, and how you feel best. So timing, there's no set place. It's what works for your body. So what we're going to do today is, one of my favorite times of the day is morning currently, and I love going for a morning walk when I can. So I'm going to incorporate some morning type exercises. We're going to prepare the body for work by warming it up. Then we're going to move into some exercises. What we do after that is we cool it down or stretch it out, and you can take those stretches with you and use them anytime during your day. And then we're going to move into an interview portion of the show, which is kind of cool, where you can hear tips and tricks and learn some new stuff regarding fitness and wellness. So we're going to get moving. You want to make sure your space is nice and clear of any pets, anything you have going on. If you are using weights later on, you're going to move them out of the way. Same with your water. You want to be able to imagine sweeping your arms around and having a clear space. If you're going to exercise with a buddy, just make sure you guys don't run into each other. And if you're exercising with a four-legged friend, just kind of keeping them out of the way so that they don't knock you over and you lose your balance. I've done that many, many times. So we're going to start off with a box step. I'm going to give you, I do have a little bit of a background in dance. I love movement. So that's where that came into play. I'm going to give you an upper body version that will get those joints and muscles moving as well. So standing or sitting, this is the upper body version. My arms are at my sides. My palms are facing the outside of my thigh. I'm going to sweep my arm up in front of me all the way up overhead. So I'm reaching way up overhead. My fingertips are pointing to the sky. And if both arms are up, your palms would be facing each other. So my right arm is up. I'm going to bring my left arm up. Now my right arm is going to come straight down to my side. I have to bend my elbow to do that. Reach down towards the ground, pointing your fingers towards the ground, and the other arm, bend the elbow, reach down towards the ground. So it goes reach up, reach up, reach down, reach down. I'm reaching straight up over my head and down at my sides. Now if you're in a chair, you might have to just reach slightly out to the side. Okay, so again, it's up, up, down, down. So my right arm goes up, my left arm goes up, my right hand comes down, my left hand comes down. I'm going to do that with my feet into a box step. So take a little walk here. So right now I'm standing nice and tall. So regardless, I want you to think of good posture. Your shoulders are down your back. Your back is like a stack of Legos. So you're sitting up nice and tall. So I am going to make a box with my feet. My feet are currently hip distance apart. My feet flat on the floor. Now I'm going to take my left foot and I'm going to step forward and slightly to the left. So I'm thinking of stepping to the outside of a square. So it's a bit out of my hip. I'm going to step forward with my left, forward with my right, back with my left to the back of the square, back with my right. Now, how big your square is up to you. Now, regardless if you're doing arms or legs, we're going to go ahead at the speed that works for you. So with my feet, I'm going to go left, right, forward, left, right, back. Okay? Forward, forward, back, back, up, up, down, down, forward, forward, back, back. If you're using your arms, up, up, down, down. Let's see if we can pick it up. Forward, forward, back, back, forward, forward, back, back, forward, forward, back, back, forward, forward, back, back. So you can give your hips a little shake if you want while you're doing that. So the next one we're going to work on is we're going to do some circles. We're going to do some knee rotations. So if you have any knee issues or prefer to work the upper body, you can do circles with your wrists and hands. So wherever you want to hang, if you want your hands at your sides, you want to bend your elbows, you can draw circles one way with your hands or circling the wrists and the opposite direction. I'm going to incorporate the knees. So I'm standing nice and tall. I'm going to bend one knee just a little bit so I'm on the ball of the foot so I can draw a circle with my knee. I'm going to hear all kinds of crunching here. It's usually my foot. So think of making a rotation big enough that you're feeling it in the hip and the ankle. And what you do one way, we got to do the other way. So these aren't super slow. I'm getting movement going and the fluid within the joints. moving around, crunch, crunch. Okay, so I'm going to move to the other side. So same thing if you would prefer to use your wrists. I'm going to put my hands on my hips this time because that feels good for me. So I am raising up onto the ball of the foot. So just lifting the heel up off the ground so I can make that rotation with my knee. Moving it around in a circle. My foot's kind of coming with it, so if it lifts a little bit in certain spots, that's okay. I'm getting the movement within the hip. You can make the circles bigger or smaller. And what you do one way, let's do the other. So now we're going to add that, I'm going the other way still, dynamic movement. So getting that heart going a little more. What I want you to do, seated or standing, you're going to reach across the body. So my arms are about hip height. I've got my elbow bent. I'm going to reach across and back. Across and back from shoulder height, across and back. My torso twists with and back, across and back. And I want you to keep reaching for a few more and then join me in a few moments to get those exercises going.
Get ready to exercise. Healthy at Home with Bobbi Janzen. We'll be right back. Let's exercise. Healthy at Home with Bobbi Janzen is back.
All right, we're going to get you moving and exercising. What we're going to do is you can use dumbbells for this next one if you choose, but I want you to think fairly light, okay? So if you have those, you want to use those, you're welcome to. Otherwise, this can be done seated or standing and with no weights. So I'm going to do this standing. If you're seated or standing, stand nice and tall. Your abs are tight. So if I were to poke you in the belly, think of that belly button being kind of in and up. It is firm. Your head's in line with your spine and your arms down at your sides. Now, if you have your dumbbells, make sure you're holding on to them. So my palms would be facing the outside of my legs, or that's where, if I'm holding my dumbbells. Now I'm going to bring my arms to the front of my thighs and rotate my palms to face the front of my thighs. So I would be slapping the fronts of my thighs. My arms are still straight. I'm going to raise my arms straight up in front of me to shoulder height with control. Raising them straight up to shoulder height and their shoulder distance. And if my hands were open, my palms would be facing the ground, okay? And I'm going to bring them back down towards my lap. Arms remain straight, so it's a front raise. Raising it up, working the shoulders, and bringing it down. Raising it up, and bringing it down. Raising it up, make sure you're breathing, and bringing it down. Raising it up, and bringing it down. This is our halfway point right here as we raise it up. And bring it down. Keep that core tight. Bring it up and lower it down. And 3 more. Up and bring it down. Up with control and down with control. And up and lower it down. So we're going to do this again. So if you need to shake things out a bit, by all means. And if your speed is different than mine, if you're going a little slower, that is just fine. It's what works for you. This is not a rush. We're not in a race for our front raises. So my arms are hanging down at my sides. I'm bringing them to the front of my thighs, where my palms would be touching the front of my thighs. My arms are still straight, or if I'm holding the dumbbells, make sure your wrist isn't tipped back. So my wrist, my knuckles, my wrist, and my elbow and my shoulder are all one straight line. I'm going to raise my arms straight up out of shoulder height, shoulder distance, and bring it down. Bring it up and bring it down and bring it up and lowering down with control and up and lower down and up and lower down. We've got 4 more and up and lower it down and up, lower it down with control, and 2 more, bringing it up. And as you come down, keep that control. It's like you're moving through thick soup. Down and 1 more. Bring it up through thick soup, down through thick soup. And you can shake it out. We have 1 more set. You are your own greatest resistance. I can swing my arms and have no work. That's not what we want. So if you're going with your body weight, use that air. Imagine it is thick. Imagine you're working through resistance. Have your own body work for you and create that resistance through the air or your environment. Last set. So I've got my hands in front of my thighs, and if my palms were open, they're going to touch the palms of my thighs. I'm going to make gentle fists or hold on to my weights, keeping that straight alignment. Okay, your spine is like a stack of Legos. Raise it up, lower it down, This is a great one to do with a barbell or a stick. Raise it up, lower it down, raise it up, down with control, and raise it up. Keep your core tight and lower it down. We're gonna go for 4 more. Sit up and lower it down, raise it up with control and down. Last 2. Keep your shoulders down your back and raise it up with control and down with control, keeping that core tight, and raise it up and lower it down. Just because I am using, so that's the end of that set, and we're gonna move on to a different exercise, but just because I'm using both hands or both arms does not mean this has to be done with both. This can be done single-sided as well, which is really, really nice. So seated or standing again for the next one. I'm going to demonstrate it standing, but I'll talk you through seated. So morning being my favorite time, I like having, I love coffee. There it is, it's out there. I love coffee, and I love coffee in the silence of the morning. It is one of my favorite times. I also enjoy morning run. So the good mornings are an exercise to kind of pay tribute to the morning. And for those of you that don't like mornings, well, you can do your good mornings in the evening. So either seated or standing. Now, if I'm standing, my feet are currently shoulder or hip distance apart. I'm going to go a little bit wider. So how you can check that, and my toes are pointed forward, feet flat on the ground. You just place your hands on your hips and run your hands down the outside of your legs. Now, if you can feel your legs going wider than your hips, you're in a wider stance. And you can adjust as we do the exercise between repetitions, just to make sure you've got the stance that's right for you. So whether you're seated or standing, it is about the core and the back. It's very important. Standing will focus a little bit more on what we call your posterior chain, which is your bum, the backs of your legs. So think of the back side of your power muscles. So the big muscles. Now, you can do this with your hands on your hips. I am going to teach this with the hands behind the head because it's often done with a barbell on or behind the shoulders, not on the neck, but behind the shoulders. So if you feel comfortable to do so, bring your arms up and you're going to place your hands behind your head. So my elbows are going to open up to the sides. If this is a big reach for you, if you're really tight in the shoulders, they don't have to be exactly out to the sides. So what I want you to do is try and maintain that position, so don't let the elbows close in. My thumbs are just behind that bony ridge of the skull, and we're going to get moving. You can do this seated or standing. My knees are just bent softly because I'm going to do these from standing, and you're going to hinge at the hips, and with a flat back, just imagine bowing or bending forward. So like I said, you can do this seated as well. Now, if you're new to these, you're going to keep your head above your heart level. Otherwise, if you have a greater range of motion, you can go a little lower. We're not going to drop our head down below our hips, but you can think of your back becoming flat, sort of like a ramp or a table. Now, for those that are standing, you're going to straighten the legs and come up. They're not locking the knees. So everybody's going to come up to that initial position, and you're going to bow forward. I've got those knees bent just slightly. And back up. Think of using your belly muscles to bring you back up, your butt muscles, whether you're sitting or standing, and bow forward with a flat back and come up. Bow forward and up we go, nice and tall. Bow forward and come up and forward and come up. We have 3 more. And forward and come up. I keep those knees what we call soft. So it's just a very gentle bend. Forward and come up. Last 2. Forward and come up. Squeeze your butt. And forward and come up. Excellent. So I'm going to shake it out. If this is really tough on your shoulders, you can always do this with your hands on your hips. That is just fine. It's the motion and making sure you're using your stomach and your glutes and your back. Not your low back, but the muscles of your back to kind of be nice and tall. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to demonstrate this with my hands on my hips. So my elbows are out to the side, my hands are on my hips. I'm going to bend forward. Little bend in the knees, or if you're seated, hinge forward. Think of bowing forward and coming up. Squeeze your butt. Use your core muscles and fold forward and come up and forward. Now, where is your head? It stays in line with your spine, and come up, because if we crank our neck back to look up and forward, you're gonna be putting some pressure on the neck. And up. We have 4 more, and hinge forward and come up. So if you're standing, it's kind of nice because you're gonna feel this in the back of the legs. You're gonna fold till you feel it in the back of your, so in your hamstrings, so the back of your thighs, and up. And if you're seated, you're gonna feel this in the butt and your back. And down, and come up, and 1 more, or the muscles of the back, I should say, and down, and come up. Now, if your actual back is feeling it more into the spine than that, you're not utilizing the core or the glute muscles. So you want to think of holding a dime with your butt cheeks and bringing the belly button in and up so your belly is nice and tight. Last set. I'm going to come back to bringing my hands behind my head, my elbows out to the side. Soften those knees. I'm just going to give my toes a little bit of a wiggle because I must have been gripping the mat. So make sure you're not gripping the floor with your feet. They're nice and flat. Fold forward. Keep pushing your bum back and come up to standing using your core, and forward and back. This is actually quite a nice stretch on my hamstrings right now. And fold forward. With control, come up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And come down. And come up. And down. Nice work. And come up. And we've got 2 more here. And down. And come up. With control, 1 more. And down. And come up. Don't drop that Kleenex that you're holding between your cheeks. And back up. So this is a great time to grab a drink. And then we're going to move in to the second part of our exercises.
Keep moving. Healthy at Home with Bobbi Janzen. We'll be right back. Back to the exercises on Healthy at Home with Bobbi Janzen.
All right, we're going to tackle something that's a little bit scary. And the only reason I say that is because some people say, oh, no, burpees, it's just not for me. There's a few ways that we can break this up so that you can do part of a burpee, we can deconstruct it, we can rip it apart, we can make it work for you. So burpees should not be scary because it doesn't have to be jumping. We don't have to jump. We can do an upper body variation, we can step into a burpee, we can jump into a burpee, or some days I don't feel like doing any burpees at all. So to talk you through the upper part of a burpee, and you can just stick with this if you wish. It's kind of like almost like a basketball motion or a ball toss motion. So imagine, I'm standing nice and tall, or you could be seated in your chair, nice and tall. Imagine you have a ball between your hands, so your palms would be facing each other. So you're holding a ball per se, or a smaller watermelon. Think of bringing that up into the chest so my elbows are bent. Now I'm going to reach my hands straight up, or my fingertips straight up towards the sky. My arms are straight. Now I'm going to bend the elbows, bring that ball or watermelon back down to my chest, and now I'm going to bring it down to my lap. So I'm going to straighten my arms and bring that watermelon or ball down to my lap. That's all you have to do. But imagine that ball or watermelon being heavy. So chest, up to the ceiling, back to the chest, down to your lap. So that is just an upper body variation. And you can pick that up and go quite quickly if you wish to kind of get more of a cardiovascular effect. Get that heart pumping. Otherwise, we can take it down and just touch the floor. So now I'm not going to hold the ball because I'm going to be touching the floor. So I want to think of bringing my hands holding an imaginary ball. That's how far they are apart. And I'm going to reach up to the sky. I'm going to come down to my chest, and I'm going to fold forward, bending the knees, and I'm going to touch my fingertips to the floor. Now I'm not going to drop my head. I'm going to keep it above my heart, so if your fingertips don't touch, that's okay. Now I'm going to straighten the legs, bring my hands back to my chest, reach up to the sky. Now I'm going to make it a little, we're going to ramp it up a little, so you can stay in any of these variations. Otherwise, my hands are up towards the sky, fingertips pointing towards the ceiling, my palms facing each other. I'm going to bend my elbows and bring my hands towards my chest. And now I'm going to hinge at the hips, bend at the knees. I'm folding forward. Now I'm going to touch the floor. So I'm bending a little bit more. Now I'm going to step one leg out. My right leg straight back to a plank. Left leg straight back to a plank. So my palms are flat on the floor. My hands are below my shoulders and my legs are extended back, my toes curled under. So my back is like a ramp. Now I can bend one knee, step it back up. The other knee, step back into a standing position. Now my fingertips are still down on the floor. Now I'm going to bring my hands up to my chest, straighten the knees, hands up to the sky. Now you can hear I'm breathing a little harder. So we've done about 3. We're going to do 2 more, but I'm going to add a hop for you. So you've got that ball, it's at your chest, bring it up towards the sky, back down to the chest. I'm folding, or you can stop here, hands down to the floor. I'm going to hop it out into a plank. I'm going to hop it in, my knees are bent. And now I'm going to come to standing, bring that ball to the chest, hands up to the sky. And I've got 2 more, my sunglasses are falling off. My fingertips are pointing at the sky. Bring it back that ball down towards the chest, that imaginary ball, imaginary watermelon. I'm going to fold at the hips, come down to the floor, hop it out into that plank, bring it back in. I'm coming to standing, hands towards the chest, reach up towards the sky. So take a breath here. So I'm just going to shake it out. And I'm going to step this next set. Otherwise, you're just going to hear lots of heavy breathing. So pick which variation you like, and we're going to move on to the second set. So we're doing 2 sets of 5 of these. You don't want to do too many reps your first time around with whichever type of burpees you like or dislike. All right, so standing, feet are hip distance apart, or you're going to go with the seated variation. I'm going to reach my hands up to the sky, bring my hands down towards the chest like I'm bringing the ball towards my chest, down to the ground. My palms are going to go flat on the ground. I'm going to step 1 foot back, the other foot back. Step 1 foot in, the other foot in. I'm coming back to standing. My knees are bent, straighten the legs. Hands to the chest, hands to the sky, so my arms are straight. Bringing it back down, so bending at the elbows, that fake or pretend ball towards your chest. Bending at the waist. I'm going to come down to the ground, palms flat on the floor. My hands are directly below my shoulders. Step 1 leg back, step the other leg back, step 1 leg in, the other leg in. Hands come to chest, hands come to the sky. So we're at 3, hands down to the chest, folding at the waist, hands down. 1 foot back, the other foot back, 1 foot in. So I'm coming back to standing now from plank. Back to standing. Straighten the legs, up we go, hands to chest, reach the sky. Last one. So bringing that ball down to the chest, bending at the waist, hands to the floor. I'm going to step 1 leg back into plank. Watch where your arms are, so your shoulders and your wrists are in line, and the other leg back into that long plank position. This time I'm just going to hop it back in. Hop. Now I'm bringing my hands up off the floor, straightening the legs, hands to the chest, arms up to the sky. Woo. So hopefully I've made burpees a little bit less scary for you, because you can take them in different parts. So pick which you enjoy. And now we're going to I'm going to come slowly down to the ground. I'm going to offer you a seated modification. Otherwise, we're going to come on to all 4. So let's go through the upper body variation first. Ooh, burpees make my nose run. So we're going to work the rotator cuff, because the hydrant exercise that we're working is going to work the hip joint. So we'll work the shoulder joint for upper body, hip joint, and your butt muscles for the lower. So I'm just currently kneeling on my mat. If you want to be seated in a chair, or you can sit on your bum on the floor. My arms are at my sides, my palms are facing the outside of my legs. I'm going to bend my elbows. So my arms are 90 degrees, my palms are facing each other. Elbows are glued to your ribs. Think of that, okay? So it's like you're gonna shake someone's hand. But I'm going to open my arms. So I'm gonna bring my hands, so keeping my elbows where they are, and the arm in the angle that it is, you're gonna open your arms, keeping your elbows glued. So I'm opening my arms to the side, so my palms are gonna face in front of me, and bring them back to that starting position. So they're facing each other. You're opening the door. Your arms stay at 90, but it's like opening at the hinge of the elbows and bringing it back. So that's your modification, but the hinge that's actually working is the shoulder. So there's your upper body variation. I'm going to come onto all 4s and work the hips. So we're talking about exercise timing, and I enjoy a morning walk. When I take my dog for a morning walk, well, he pees. He pees on things. So this one reminds me of a peeing dog. So I'm going to be in what we call a tabletop position, and I have hair in my mouth. There we go. My hands are below my shoulders. My knees are beneath my hips, or just a tiny bit further back. So they're hip distance and shoulder distance apart. The tops of my feet are flat on the floor. Now, what is really important in this exercise is that you don't turn your body. It's the hip and the leg and the butt that are doing the movement. So I'm going to shift my weight gently to the left side so I can raise my right knee off the floor. So it's just hovering, and I'm maintaining that 90-degree position. And keeping that 90-degree position, you're going to open your leg to the side. So I'm bringing my knee to the side and the leg follows. So this is going to work the butt muscle. It's like opening, it feels like that opening a door again. And I'm going to bring it back. So imagining a dog lifting its leg to pee on a hydrant. So bring it up and bring it back down. Use your core. If you're doing the upper body, work within your range of motion, don't force it. Up and back down, and up and back down, up and back down, open, bring it up and back down. So my foot is kind of gently pointed. You can flex it if you want. Bring it open and close. This is halfway. Open. Don't twist the body, and closed, and open, and closed. And let's do one more. Open and close. Then I'm going to switch sides. So watch your wrist, that you're not forcing your body weight into your wrists. Distribute it evenly through your hands and onto those knees. Now, if you're doing the rotator cuff, be gentle. The rotator cuff is, we want to be gentle with it. We don't want to injure it. We want to strengthen it and stretch it. So if you find that it's quite painful, you want to reduce your range of motion. If you're using weights, put them down. We always want to go really light on the rotator cuff. So I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to shift my body towards my right knee a bit so that I can balance here, and just hover that left knee above the mat. It's still at the 90 degrees. And I'm going to open my knee to the side. The leg follows. So lifting my knee out to the side, bringing it back in, and open and closed. And open and close and open and close, open and close and open and close, open and close. We have two more. Open and close. Last one. Open and close. Okay, so you can shake out your shoulders. You can rotate the wrists, and what I'm going to have you do is you can do one more set to each side, and then grab a drink, because we're going to cool down in a few moments.
Keep moving. Healthy at Home with Bobbi Janzen will be right back. Welcome back to Healthy at Home with Bobbi Janzen.
All right, after all of that, you have earned a chance to stretch, recover, and cool down. You can do this, well, you can do this seated. You can do this seated or on the floor. I'm seated on the floor cross-legged, so you can sit in a chair or join me on the floor. And just because I'm sitting on the floor does not mean I have to sit cross-legged for this. I can extend my legs out. So if that's what's comfortable for you, that's where we want to be. Sit up nice and tall. Even though we're cooling down, it's not time to let our posture go. I currently just have my hands on my lap. And I was thinking about redecorating my office. It seriously needs it. I have no idea what color I'm going to paint it, and it's probably going to be something wild and crazy, but it made me think of paint. So we're going to get a little messy here. So think of dipping your hands in front of you into a big tray or pan of paint or can of paint, whatever you want. So you're just going to get them full of paint. And now I'm going to imagine dragging the backs of my hands all the way up a wall so that I can raise my arms up just about above my head. So I'm going to drag the backs of those paintful hands all the way up above the wall, or above me on the wall. And then I'm going to turn my hands, so I'm going to drag my fingertips and palms back down the wall. So my arms are about shoulder distance. They can be a little wider, a little narrow. It's what feels good. So put your hands in that paint. Drag your backs of your hands up the wall, your imaginary wall, whatever color you want. Now I'm gonna turn so my palms are facing forward and drag my palms and fingertips down the wall. We're gonna do 2 more. So think of stretching, breathing up. As you drag the backs of your hands down the wall, and I'm just gonna flip my palms. So I'm gonna finger paint with my palms and my fingertips down the front of that wall. Good. You can shrug out those shoulders. So you can do that kind of anytime, anywhere. People might look at you weird, whatever. Feels good on the shoulders. So you can stay seated in a chair, seated cross-legged. I'm going to extend my legs out in front of me into a V, not a super wide V. I'm not going to do the splits, but a bit of a V. So you can do that even seated if you wish. Otherwise, you can just do the forward fold variation. So I'm going to walk my fingertips forward. So I'm going to bend at the hips. My back is flat. Now I'm going to kind of walk towards my right leg. So I'm walking my fingertips, or I can put my hands on my leg. Just don't push on your knee, and fold towards that right leg. Or you can fold down the middle. You get to be the boss here. I was the boss for the burpee part. You can be the boss for the stretch. And come up. And I'm going to do the same to the other side. So I'm just going to turn my body just slightly. And I'm going to walk my fingertips down my other leg, or right down the middle. So I'm folding at the hips, folding forward. My chest is coming closer to my legs. Do not drop your nose towards your knee. Just keep your head long. So I think of the crown of my head stretching towards my feet. And back up. And just because we can, let's go straight through the middle. I'm going to fold forward, straight through the middle. And now if you want, you can let your head go, because your heart rate should be down. If it is not, you keep it higher than your head, higher than your heart. And take some nice deep breaths. All right, so I'm going to come up and I'm going to bring my legs together. Now you can do this exercise. I'm going to do it with my feet. You can also do it with your hands. So I'm going to point and flex my feet. So if you're going to use your hands, you can take both your hands. My hands are at my sides, my palms facing the outside of my legs. Now I'm going to bring them up shoulder height so that my palms are facing the ground. And I'm going to tip my fingertips so it's like I'm high-fiving someone in front of me. My fingertips are reaching the sky, so I'm going to kind of hinge at the wrist. And then I'm going to point my fingertips down without changing my arms. So I'm going to high-five, and then someone's going to get the back of my hand while my fingertips point the ground. So it's pointing and flexing. So with your feet, you're going to imagine flexing your feet so your feet point towards the sky. Point your feet away so your toes point away from you. You're getting a stretch in the front of the leg. And flex. And point. And flex. And point. Get a good stretch. And flex. And let's hold it here. So what I want you to do is keep moving, keep motivated, but stay with us for the interview coming up next.
Coming up on Healthy at Home, Bobbi gets her hands dirty with some horticulture therapy. We're back with health and wellness tips on Healthy at Home with Bobbi Janzen.
Welcome back. I am sitting here with Heather Richardson, and we're going to talk a little bit about horticulture therapy. We are in a beautiful backyard. You might hear some water in the background. There is a really nice pond behind us with a waterfall running into it, so it has this really lovely sound. Heather, can you tell me a little bit about what you do?
Absolutely. I'm operations manager for Orchid Horticulture, which is a local nonprofit. We specialize in education and consulting in horticulture in and around the prairies and across Canada. Our biggest focus is available and accessible information and education in horticulture for all walks of life.
Amazing. Could you explain a little bit what does horticulture mean?
One of our most popular questions once we get our tongue around how we pronounce it. Horticulture is everything green and growing, to simplify things, but it involves really big things like landscaping. It's also viticulture, so growing grapes for wine. Any of our orchards, our fruit growing, any vegetable or fruit production falls into horticulture. A lot of our what we typically classify as agriculture crops in and around the prairies also fall under horticulture as some of those specialty crops. And it's right down to what you do in your own home or around your home with plants, and everyone should really just live with plants or flowers every day.
My horticulture thumb is possibly not very green.
You just need a lesson in with the tougher plants then.
Definitely tougher plants when it comes to me. So horticulture therapy, so green and growing, how does that tie into horticulture therapy? What does that entail?
Because with horticulture we are dealing with living, growing things. They happen to be mostly green in this case. They need the same things in life as our basic needs. So we're looking at a place to grow, so some structure. In our human counterparts, it's a home of whichever kind. We have roofs and a wall, walls and a roof over us to protect us from the environment, and it allows us to create a place to live that's comfortable for ourselves. We also have light, of course. We're chasing that vitamin D here in the winter all the time.
Absolutely.
Nutrients are very important for our own health as well as the plants. We all need to make sure we're getting what we need. Water, lots of water, especially on these warm days, is very, very important for ourselves as well as the plants. And then of course we always need that most important thing, and that's love. It just kind of rounds everything out, and the plants appreciate it as much as the humans.
I'm thinking I must be a very complicated plant.
Some of us are a little more complex, but you know what? When we meet those basic needs, we become less complex. And it's very easy to have, you know, a little green buddy around that you get to talk to. And, you know, you check on it every day and make sure he's doing okay. Some of us name our plants.
I do name my plants.
I do too. It's much easier to yell at them sometimes.
Yes.
Then they know which one it's directed to.
So, talking to plants, naming plants, that made me think of something. I was told once that you should always talk to plants. It helps them grow. Is that fact or myth?
It's a bit of both.
Okay.
Horticulture is as much a science as it is an art. So there's a lot of science that comes into it. Of course, the basic needs, how much water, how much nutrient, when, where, for how long. Very important things for production-wise. But for comfort-wise, just like us that maybe are a little bit more laid back, we just need kind of the basics to exist, and that's all we need, and then we're happy. And if there's some sunshine and some green stuff around us, usually it makes us even more happy. So
This is true.
yes and no. Do you like being talked to?
Depends on the day.
Right? And who's
I'm
doing
really
the
busy and focused, right? Sometimes it can be distracting. But yes, for the most part, absolutely I do.
Right? And sometimes we need that alone time. You know what? Plants are great for that because they don't talk back.
Okay. Wow, I was just so unsure, and I've always wanted to ask someone that question, so that's amazing. So relating that to our lives, how can we start pulling those elements to the plant and relating them to us and bringing the two together?
Absolutely. So it doesn't take a lot of space. We don't need a giant garden. We don't need many, many acres to care for because frankly, it's a lot of work. And if we don't love it, it's even more grueling. So what we like to do is even a small thing. We've got a little pot in front of you here. Some of the things in it are herbs. So we've got rosemary that has that. Absolutely.
Okay.
So you've got rosemary right there.
It's kind of pokey, like this sticky outy things.
Right. So
my
they all
technical
have
term.
different textures. And then if you reach right over it, you'll find basil is very velvety and smooth.
Oh, it's very soft.
And if you smell your fingers now, it's going to smell like a chicken dinner.
Oh, delicious. That is lovely.
And so you've got different textures, you've got scents, you've got edibles, and over here we've got some lovely blooming geraniums.
It's a different type of soft. It almost feels velvety to me.
Yeah, it's a little bit fuzzy.
Yeah.
And geranium oil is actually used in a lot of perfumes. So now if you smell your fingers.
I have chicken and perfume.
You've got Grandma's chicken dinner.
Oh, wow.
So now that you have that scent in your nose, you'll probably pick it up in a lot of perfumes out on the market. So your sense of smell is your largest sense attached to memory. So that's why chicken dinner comes to mind right away. It's our big Thanksgiving dinners at Christmas or Thanksgiving. And then
we comforting too. The smells, right?
Absolutely. And if you reach right over to the very front,
to the
We've got
front.
some
Okay,
nice
pass.
fluffy, this is Creeping Jenny, and this is not edible, but it's a bright lime green, and it's just kind of a nice pop of color.
It feels neat.
And in your other hand, you're right next to catmint.
I'm not too sure here. A little unsure.
So-
Catnip. This is the stuff people give cats, and they
The
get
other
all-
name is
yeah.
catnip,
Catnip,
once it
okay.
is dried. So a little bit for your feline friends. Please don't eat it. It's
won't.
not going to be minty at all.
Good to know. But
It is in the
what?
mint family. But all your senses can be met within just this little tiny pot. And
This
on
is fun. Like
and on
just
our-
to touch it. Honestly.
And there we have a wonderful little heart therapy lesson. Look at, you're a pro. But this pot, of course, when it's hot, it's going to be a little more complex like you. It's going to need a
Okay.
little more TLC, some
When I
tender
get
loving
hot,
care.
I get a little bit more complicated.
Don't we all? And then you know what, it gives back to us too. We can pick some for dinner or maybe mash some up for a lovely little cocktail or mocktail. And it allows us to have these lovely aromatics all summer long, and actually we can bring them into the home for winter as well.
And as I'm touching all these things, they're fairly sturdy-ish.
They are.
They must be.
These plants are all very sturdy. And I
Okay.
bet you now that you've fallen in love with them, you would like to get up and, you know, check on them every day.
Well, yes.
So it
Because
gives,
it's a lovely smell. I would like to keep it around, right?
right?
Yeah.
So it gives you a bit of a to-do list. It gives you
Okay.
some responsibility. It gives you a sense to care for, because the next thing you're going to do is you're going to have to feel into the soil and make sure it's
May I?
moist. Absolutely. I don't think the soil
Oh,
is
yeah.
going to mind.
Yep.
So it's
It's
nice
happy.
and moist, its roots are cool, it's staying cool, and you know what? There's just a little bit of air conditioning around these plants now.
So how would this relate to my mental health, say, or any of our viewers, their mental health?
Well, how do you feel now compared to when you got here?
Well, I'm always pretty happy, but this is, I would say what it did is I felt a bit more grounded, a bit calmer.
So we don't always have to take off our shoes and put them in the grass
Which
to
is nice.
feel that, which is very
Which
nice,
is nice.
especially on a warm day. But if we even have just, this pot is about 10 inches in diameter. Overall, it's under 2 feet tall. A little bit on a kitchen table, in a window, or on our patio can just make us have little smiles on the inside all season long.
So this can be done anywhere with any type of space.
Anywhere.
Do you have any recommendations for starters?
Herbs are a great one in the summer. There's lots of really tough plants. Geraniums, for instance, are very forgiving. If, say, you maybe have a couple off days and your plants then also have a few off days and you forget about them, they're very forgivable. We have also a lot of house plants that are very forgiving, like Sansevieria or mother-in-law's tongue. Spider plants are also very, very forgiving.
That seems to be one that is thriving in my house.
Excellent.
So it's
Excellent.
yeah, that would be a win.
Well, you're not the only one, because those actually date back to the Victorian era.
Oh wow.
So you're doing well.
Okay. So just taking a little bit, starting small, starting with maybe something a bit more sturdy to gain my confidence might be a good way to go.
Something very manageable.
Even just putting my hands in the dirt sure felt really, really good.
Just remember to wash them before you eat.
I will, considering I smell like chicken dinner. But I want to thank you so much, Heather, for sharing your time with me. This was really insightful, and I think it's given me a kind of a new way to look at my plants and how I want to approach just having some extra green space in my life. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see everybody again soon.
Produced by Honeycut Studios. Host Bobbi Janzen. Accessibility consultant Sierra Roth. Special thanks to Orchid Horticulture. Integrated Described Video consultant Ron Rickford. Content development specialist Jim Crisco. Supervising producer Jennifer Johnson. Director Programming Lisanne Gagne. Director Content Development and Production Kara Nye. Vice President Content Development and Operations John Melville. President and CEO David Arrington. Copyright 2024 Accessible Media Inc.
An AMI original production.